Today we're going to talk about communication and setting expectations. This is episode 6 of the Insight series. Let's jump right in. It is paramount when we are pursuing a goal to set the proper expectations about when something is going to occur, how it's going to occur, and what we expect to see as a result of that event occurring. And we need to be able to communicate that in a timely manner. Right? Well, yeah, of course, Chris. I mean, thank you, Captain Obvious. But would it surprise you to find out that the number one complaint most agents get is around the lack of communication? And I suspect that part of that is around the lack of setting the proper expectations about how things are supposed to go, okay, and when those things are going to occur. Communication is key. We, as real estate professionals, fulfill a trusted advisor role, right? We are conveying things in a timely manner to help you achieve your goals. When we're doing a listing and we're working with the seller, a lot of times days, possibly weeks will go by without there being any immediate communication. And this is really key. I'm going to give you two different examples here. Okay. On the buyer side, this happens all the time, unfortunately. On the buyer side, we have an initial interaction. I get an initial understanding of what's important. We set an expectation for me to facilitate some type of service. Either I'm doing a search or I'm answering a question. I'm following up in some kind of way, okay? But here as of late in particular, right, I'm doing a search and we're sending those search results out along with my schedule and asking for a response in order to move forward. And then 2 days go by and I send out a text message. Fortunately, I have enough communication apparatus because the client was good enough to leave me with all of these methods by which to reach them. I sent out a text message. Hey, did you get the search results that I sent out? Because I set the expectation that I was going to send them out that night, and I did, right? Oh no, I haven't seen them. I dropped the ball. It comes from my MLS system, and therefore wound up in their spam folder, and therefore they didn't see it. Yeah, dropped the ball. Went into the spam folder. Probably should have communicated a little faster. Probably should have verified that they had received them when I sent them. Right? Second scenario, same setup. Did the search, sent the results. This time I verified that they received the results. Schedule was embedded, waiting on the customer to get back to me to let me know when we're going to be going out. And this is incredibly important because in my schedule, I'm trying to create space and leave room to facilitate this function, to facilitate this upcoming tour. Three days go by. I follow up. Turns out, customer changed their mind. Decided they're going to wait until next year. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. Man, I would have appreciated that communication when it happened. Because we're tying up time. We're tying up other folks' time and time that I could be spending with them. On the seller side of things, okay, Oftentimes this comes around price. We start off with an initial price, kind of like making an offer, right? We start off with an initial offer. We start off with an initial price when we're listing a home. Markets change. It's imperative that I am communicating those changes. Sometimes even to the extent of predicting them, right? When you get a little further into your career, you start to gain the ability to kind of see the trend lines ahead of time. So, but that needs to be communicated and set those expectations so that the seller doesn't get caught off guard. Great example. The home inspection occurs. The seller now has a list of repairs that contractually need to be accommodated, need to be done. And the seller is not happy about this. Why? How did that happen? When we took on the listing, we knew that repairs were going to be part of this. So why were the expectations not set? It's in the contract. There's a whole section that if we're reviewing our contracts, if we're going over our contracts, right, the seller should have been aware of this, right? Expectations, right? Communication. These type of flare-ups generally don't need to occur. Missteps, oversights. With proper communication, a lot of this can be resolved, okay? I'm coming down for a visit, Chris. Great. When are you gonna be in town? From what date to what date? Do you expect to spend time together when you're in town? What would you like to achieve while you're here? What is the purpose of your visit, right? I don't want to assume just because we're having a conversation on the phone that, you know, you're coming down specifically to achieve something. That may not be the case, okay? Hey, Chris, I'd like to know, you know, I'd like you to come over, take a look at the house. Give me a little comparative market analysis. Great. What are we working on? What are we thinking? What are we trying to achieve? Okay. I'll do it. It doesn't take me that long, right? Heck, I could probably stand in the middle of the house and point at things and give you a rough idea, okay? But this communication is key so that I understand and you understand what we're trying to achieve. On the listing side of things, was the expectation set that you're going to get a weekly report or a monthly report on the activity? Was the expectation set that if the market doesn't perform with your home the way we anticipate it to, we're going to do something about that, right? And are we following up with that? Communication is a two-way thing. And really the point of this video is to kind of convey that agents mess up, customers mess up, and both of us have to come to the table with the best of intentions and put forth our best efforts to make sure that that communication is clear and concise and moves us towards your goals, okay? And agents, if there's any agents watching this, setting expectations are paramount, because a lot of times, while this process, regardless of what it is very, you know, Monday morning to us, sometimes our customers, they're not as grounded in the hows, you know, as we are. And they would like to know what the heck is going on a lot of the times. So that's really all I really wanted to talk about on this topic. You know, it's one of those things that we don't invest any real time in discussing while we're trying to accomplish a goal. So I feel like this is a great venue for this conversation to at least get started. And from a customer perspective, I really want you to think about the nature of your relationship with your agent and how important that communication is going both ways. And if you're finding that you're not happy with that, maybe it's time to have a conversation around that and make that dissatisfaction known to your agent so that they can improve on meeting your expectations for how that communication is supposed to occur and how frequently. Okay? Thanks so much for joining us again, once again. But this is communication and expectations. My information will be on the back end. I'd love to have a conversation with you about your future goals. If there's anything that we can do to kind of help you achieve those. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great one.